me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like we live in a world where common sense has just been completely lost? I don't know about you, but I get that feeling a lot. Welcome to Holistic Life with Kristen, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic revolving around personal finances, spending money on holiday decor. And one of the most important questions that you might be asking yourself right now is, why is this important? And the reason is that what you spend during this holiday time affects your overall financial foundation that you are spending your time building. And I am 40 years old. My mortgage, I have no more mortgage. My house is paid off. My student loans are paid off. My cars are paid off. Everything is paid off. We don't owe anybody a thing. And there is so much financial freedom in that type of situation where, if you want to go on a vacation, you can actually prioritize that you can set aside some money for to prioritize vacations that you want to go on. Or in my situation at the beginning of this year, I had a very bad health scare and I had to take a couple months away from my job, and it wasn't terrifying for me to do that because we had a cushion, so it gives you a lot of freedom to make decisions in your life to create that life that you want. And if you are in debt, up to your eyeballs, you don't have any freedom. And so that's why it's important. And so while this is one small micro piece of an overall healthy financial foundation, we are just getting into that season right now. So that's why on this video, I'm honing in on that subject. So let's get into it. I started thinking about this the other day when I was out shopping. I was trying to find a couple things for my kitchen, and I went into Home Goods specifically, and I was met immediately with aisles upon end cap after end cap of Halloween towels, dish rags, soap bottles, mugs, you name it, every kind of Halloween decor under the sun. And I really started to think about this because my immediate reaction was that I got excited. I'm like, oh, the holidays are coming. I was tempted to buy something just because it really fired up emotions in myself. And I had to go to myself, this is not, I had to remind myself that buying all of this stuff would be a bad financial decision. While I'm not totally against buying holiday decor, I do think this is an area of spending that would be better served elsewhere. And that's not to say not to buy any holiday stuff, because to be honest, I have 2 small cabinets that's full of holiday decor. Okay, and that is a couple of pieces per season. I do have more Christmas stuff. I have quite a bit of Christmas stuff. So if you want my opinion, I think the best way to manage holiday decor, one holiday that you really go all out on. So for me, that holiday is Christmas. Okay, I have a Christmas tree, I have Christmas ornaments, I have stockings, I have, pictures, I'm like a Christmas freak. I have a lot of Christmas decorations. And those are stored in the attic in a couple of those tubs plus the Christmas tree. So that is my holiday that I do go all out on, and I have quite a bit of decorations for. But the rest of the stuff, I try to kind of think of seasons for the most part. Like I have some spring stuff. I have one little rabbit pillow that has a bunny on it that's perfect for Easter. It's also just perfect for spring, so I'm not just getting it out for a week while it's Easter. I'm leaving it out for several months at a time on my sofa. It's adorable. As well as some little scarecrow. I actually got those from Goodwill. It's a fantastic idea to do. Holiday decor can all be done at, secondhand shops, resale type places to save a ton of money, because I got those little scarecrows for just a couple bucks a piece. And they are so cute. And so I actually did not turn that down just because the price was so good, and I really did fall in love with those little scarecrows. So I picked those up and brought them home, and they are my fall decor. I also found at Aldi, actually, I found a couple of little springtime gnomes that were just too good to turn down. And they were so reasonable. They were just a couple bucks a piece. I think like $3 or $4. And they were really cute. So I went ahead and got those. So my springtime decorations are the springtime gnomes and the little bunny rabbit pillow. Those can stay out, you know, all through the springtime season, all through Easter. It's not too much. It's just like 3 little things, you know. And then my fall decor, I do have my 2 scarecrows, you know, and so I just pull those out, and it just gives the living room this fall vibe. You know, so maybe like 2 to 3 things for each season that you use year after year after year. That's okay, in my opinion. I mean, I do that. And then I have my and then to take one holiday, you know, I know for some people it's Halloween. Some people go all crazy, all in on Halloween. I love Halloween, but I've limited my Halloween stuff because I have a lot of Christmas stuff. So I use my space, because you only have so much space in your house. You know, you can't fill it all up with decorations. You're gonna wind up throwing stuff out, giving stuff away, donating things, whatever it is, you know, because it's just too much. You don't have space in your house. It's just way too much to manage. And that takes a lot of time. It takes up space that you need for other things, like, you know, things that are more useful, you know, something that's, you know, just not gonna be out for like a week, and then you're gonna put it back in the cabinet and it's gonna sit there all year, you know? If you're not even just maybe giving it away and then getting new stuff the following year. I mean, right now with the economy being so tough, especially, it's hard to justify doing that, you know? And one of the most important things, and I'm just gonna explain my situation. So I am 40 years old. I have been incredibly healthy, fortunately, up until my 40th birthday, incidentally. Literally, my birthday, I spent in the hospital this year, okay? So that was a costly problem. And I needed to have some emergency funds set back, and I did. Fortunately, I'm very careful with I'm very careful with my spending. And I've paid off all of my debt. I don't have a mortgage, no more student loans, no more car payments, no nothing. I don't owe anybody anything. So there is a lot of financial freedom when you get to that point in your life, and you're able to set aside some, you know, some cash in case of an emergency like the one that I had at the beginning of this year. The only way that you can get to that point of financial freedom is to consider your overall spending habits. And so what we're talking about today is a very micro subject within that money management sphere, and that is spending money on holiday decor that is going to serve you well, but not overspending, not being tempted to throw 10 different holiday items in your cart when Halloween rolls around, unless that's your holiday. You know, maybe 10 is too many also, but I won't judge you. It's your money. You spend it the way you want. I'm just mostly putting this out here because this is my personal opinion. I have been very successful in my finances and my personal finances. People are always asking me, how in the world are you where you are with your money? And you know, it's complicated, but it's not complicated. I would call it mostly common sense. Okay, but you cannot spend, you know, hundreds of dollars on decor when the new seasons roll around. So that is why I'm talking to you about this today, because I know we're getting into those holiday times. You all are going to be running in, doing shopping, and you're going to get blasted with all of this displays upon displays of Halloween stuff, Thanksgiving stuff, fall stuff, Christmas stuff. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Don't tell me it's not. You've probably already seen it. Okay. So that's why I wanted to talk about this now. When I was in Home Goods the other day, it literally looked like Halloween threw up in there. Skeletons in a bathtub, evil eye soap container. I guess we won't buy that. I'll admit I was tempted by this Harry Potter Hedwig soap container though. Halloween blankets, random kitchen stuff. Halloween bowls and baking dishes. Halloween picture frames? Okay, I guess the candles are sorta to be expected. Dishes, I mean, does anybody seriously buy Halloween dishes? Fruit baskets. Cookie jars. There was even a Halloween Christmas tree. I didn't even know that was a thing. But I mean, if Halloween is really your thing, I mean, there was no short of supply of stuff. I mean, can you just believe all of this stuff? My goodness. I don't know about you, but I just don't have space in my house for all those holiday pillows and blankets. The Harry Potter fan of me was definitely taken with the broom stand. I don't know. There were just everywhere you turned, you could not avoid being met with shelves of Halloween stuff. You know, and besides just decor, there's also holiday clothes. Okay, and I am all for having holiday clothes and holiday earrings, but in my jewelry box, I have one pair of earrings for every holiday, and maybe I have more Christmas stuff in here. I think I've got 4 Christmas shirts. These 1, 2, 3, 4 are Christmas, Halloween. I'm a patriotic American. I have like 4 flag shirts. And then of course I've got two belts down here to create a waistline. I've got a small one and a big one. So, you know, this pretty well covers it. This is a year's worth of holiday special going out, dress, clothing. And so I can easily fit this one bin in my closet up above without a problem, you know, and then when the holidays roll around, I just get in here and I get my Christmas top. So this is a Christmas top that I wear probably most of the time. This is a Christmas nightie because I'm just all in the Christmas spirit. This is a cute Christmas top with longer sleeves in case it's chilly because I live in Houston, so a lot of the times I end up wearing my short sleeve Christmas stuff, but occasionally I do need to get out something a little bit warmer. And then I have my Mrs. Claus, has a frilly bottom, lacy bottom. I swear it's like my Mrs. Claus shirt. So I've got that because I'm just a nut for Christmas. And then I've got one shirt for Halloween, and then, you know, 4th of July, Memorial Day, all those patriotic holidays. Plus, whenever you're just in a patriotic mood, nothing wrong with a flag shirt. So anyway, I do have, you know, I use these year after year. I've had these for several years. Every year I come and I get one of my few tops out. They're adorable. Nobody's seen it for an entire year. It's okay to repeat these one time a year, you know, at work or, you know, holiday parties or with your family at Christmas or whatever it is. So I do not go without. My personal opinion is it's good to be in the holiday spirit and you shouldn't really go without. So I do buy some stuff, but I don't try not to go, you know, just don't go overboard with it because, you know, you're wasting money if you do that. So that would be my general advice. And then in terms of, you know, to have maybe a couple of items per holiday that you like to wear, you know, maybe if it's St. Patrick's Day, maybe your St. Patrick's Day outfit. I don't really do St. Patrick's Day, that's just me personally. These are my holidays. I like to have a Halloween, Christmas, and 4th of July, especially attire. Okay, moving on. So for the decorations, I am of the opinion that it's good to maybe go all out on that one holiday that you are like obsessed with. Like I said, I know some people, it might be St. Patrick's Day or Mardi Gras, it might be Halloween, it might be Christmas, it might be Thanksgiving, maybe you're an Easter person, I don't know. Everybody's different, but me personally, it's Christmas. So I've got a lot of Christmas stuff in the attic. That's the one holiday that I do allow myself. Maybe I might pick up an extra 1 or 2 pieces. I usually try to do it once things go, after the holidays, once everything goes on clearance, you can go in and snag like really good deals, maybe pick up 1 or 2 things that you find that are just too good to turn down and add that to your, you know, every year you put those things out. because I really like to decorate my house. That is, in my opinion, that is how I handle it. And then of course, if you don't have money, for the essentials, then obviously you can't be really spending in that area. You probably have to just, not spend it all in that area. And then the other best thing you can do is, as soon as the holidays are over and all those people who spend a ton of money, have no place to put their decorations, so they go and they donate it at Goodwill. You can also, or all the other secondhand stores, you can go in there and snatch up some things that are really, really good to add to your collection. And then all the other holidays besides that one that you are just fixated on, personally, I just have about 2 to 3 items that I can put out in my home to kind of get that vibe going. And I tend to think not necessarily of holidays, but think of seasons like spring and fall and summer. And spring and summer can even be some of the same types of stuff. Like, I'll usually leave the bunny rabbit pillow and the gnomes, I'll leave those out from spring through summer, half the year. Okay, that was a good investment. And then I do have a couple of Easter things that if I have my family or friends over for Easter dinner, because I do a lot of that stuff, that I can kind of, usually for the centerpiece for the dinner table, I'll just get some nice fresh flowers that really add to the space on Easter. And then I have a couple, I create a little centerpiece here in the living room just to kind of give that Easter vibe. If I have people over, it just feels very Easter-like. That it really pumps up the Easter vibe in here. I think that is a smart approach, a wise approach, the approach that I am suggesting to still enjoy the holidays and not spend a fortune. And I hope while you guys are out shopping, as fall rolls around and we get into the Christmas season, that you guys won't be tempted to blow money on all kinds of things that are just not going to be sustainable long term. You can put your money to better use to build a strong financial future, so that if you have an emergency, it's not the end of the world. And that kind of thing also gives you quite a bit of financial freedom as well. If you're in a toxic job and you want to get out of your job, you need to get out of there for health reasons, or for, specifically for health reasons. Having your finances under control gives you so much freedom to choose. I mean, just the fact that you don't feel stuck in a toxic job and you cannot escape because you need the money that bad, that is like a prison, in my opinion. So if you have built a healthy, strong financial foundation, it gives you a lot more freedom and a lot more choice in what you do with your life. That might mean taking a step away from a job that's not good for you and searching for that ideal job, because you have the time, because you have built that financial foundation for yourself. And not only does it give you the ability to get yourself to remove yourself from a bad situation, but it also allows you to get to retirement sooner. It allows you to take that vacation that you've always been wanting to, even when times are tough. If you're very careful about your finances and making good, solid financial decisions, this being just one of them, this being only just one topic under that financial management, umbrella, because finances are a huge part, and there's so many parts of our life which contributes to that financial wellness that we have, hopefully, built for ourselves. And so holiday clothing, not overspending on holiday clothing, and not overspending on holiday decor, when we are so tempted to, because they always put it in our face the second that you walk into any store when the holidays roll around. It's there front and center, and it's hard to turn it down. But when you're faced with that, just think about this, how much freedom that strong financial foundation is going to give you in terms of walking away from a toxic job, paying for medical bills that pop up unexpectedly, paying for those car repairs that come up unexpectedly, because this is life, things happen. It's some kind of crap's going to hit the fan at some point, and you're going to have to deal with it. And if you're broke, it's really difficult, you know. So, you know, working on your financial foundation so that you can have, so that you're prepared for whatever happens in life, so you can afford to buy Christmas gifts for your family without using credit cards, and enjoy the holidays because you're not stressed because you know you're going to have 3 months of bills when it's all done. You know, that is no way to live. And being terrified that you're, you know, just $500 away from a catastrophe, you know, that is just no way to live, if you ask me. So my advice to you this fall season, and I hope that you will take this into the fall and holiday season, and that it's helpful for you. Okay guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that you can get more of my videos. I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video.